Also, it is better to secure your price and it's better to secure your appointment. So, when do you think to come, my friend? Okay, so my friend, we need 3 days with you. 1 day operation, second day control, and the third day will be washing. So everything can be done in 3 days. Also,
Yo, so we're behind the scenes right now. To your left, you're looking at the real consultation between myself and the Asli Tarcan Clinic. Now, throughout this consultation review that you guys are going to be watching here, you want you to just take into account a couple things. For one, ask yourself, does this feel like they're trying to sell me on the idea of getting a hair procedure, or they're trying to make me feel comfortable about the idea of getting a hair procedure? There's a difference between somebody trying to sell and force you to do something versus somebody just being there for you as far as, answering your every question. And also, I want you guys to take into an account the aspect of things like how much hair loss I have, how much hair loss you have, and how many grafts they recommend me, how many grafts they might recommend you, and what the healing process may look like. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And like the grafts and stuff. So we're about to hop right into it. I'm done talking. Let's take a look at it. Again, this is the real conversation between myself and Asli Tarcan Clinic. All right. We're going to hold all judgment to the end. I ain't going to tell you guys my thoughts until the end. So just stick around to the end and you'll know what I think about it. Do I think Asli Tarcan Clinic is worth it? What do I think about the consultation experience? And would I ever get a transplant at Asli Tarcan Clinic? All right, let's get into it. So it starts off with me saying, hey, and I'm in green, they're in white. So I said, hey, the other number gave me this number to text. I got a consultation done in March, seeing if you all still have the quote and my info on file. So yes, we have your information and we will try to cover to this green line. So then they show me the green line, and the green line is the back of my head, right? So I got, stuff going to the back of my head as far as, where my hair loss is. All right. So you guys you read. So as you can see, they said we will plant more than 5,500 grafts. So how their consultation process works is I had to send them pictures of my head, similar to like the Restore Hair Clinic, if you didn't see it. But yeah, 5,500 grafts is what they recommended for me. And you guys will see the pictures that I sent them because I had to resend the pictures. So they said we will use the FUE method, which again, the FUE method is when they're taking out the hair follicles one by one versus being able to just take a strip of your head out, right? When they take those big strips out of your head, those leave a scar. So my idea is to do the FUE because I don't want to have a scar being left on my head. All right. And then the price that they gave me, oh yeah, this is it. As you guys can see, this is my head. And that's the lady who did the consultation. And the price that they gave me, again, that was like a FaceTime. I had gave her like a quick FaceTime. All right, so the price was $3,000 US, and these are the financial details. So I'm gonna go here a little bit. So these are all the financial details when it comes down to the breakdown of how you will pay it and everything to expect of what you'll need. Okay, so here we go. Price is 3,000. The financial details is the cost of the operation is $3,000 USD, US dollars, cash payment by bank card. If you decide to pay by bank instead of cash, you have to include an extra 10%. So that's $300, right? So you're looking at $3,300 for that procedure. The consultation sessions are before and after operation. The hair transplantation, operating using FUE technique plus ice grafts technique. And then you get a PRP supplement. It's just when they take some of your fluids that was in one of your healthy hair follicles and they mix it around and they inject it into your head, like your blood. So hair washing session the next day of the operation, and then also the blood test. They got to make sure you are negative on all those things. The medical tools for the operation, the shampoo and lotion, and the transportation from airport to the hotel and all transportation needed for the operation. And then you get accommodation in a 4 to 5 star hotel in the middle of Istanbul for 3 nights. So this is all included with the 3,000. A translator with you during the operation, and a lifetime guarantee for the hospital and doctor that your hair will never fall again and the operation will be 100%. So that right there is interesting. As I uncovered in the Restore Hair Clinic, remember they had like the lifetime guarantee, but it was like only if 25% or more of your only if 75% of your or more of your hair grafts were able to be implanted would they cover you 100%. So there's probably some fine line there, but I kept it on the surface and just said, oh, good morning, thanks for sending. Okay, cool. And is FUE the best method for my specific case, or is DHI better? So her and I, we spoke on the video. She told me about the DHI method as well. But she said, can you send me your new photos? So she wanted to see some new photos in my head. And the DHI method is different, right? It's direct hair implant method, meaning that they're taking it out. And they're about to show it right here, exactly what the DHI method is. So she says, first step is extracting part. We're extracting hair from the back head one by one. And this is what it looks like. It looks pretty wild. I ain't gonna lie to you. Look at this. All right, look at that. That's what it looks like, DHI. So they're basically pulling out your hair with tweezers. Look at that. So first step is extracting part. We are extracting hair from the back of your hair one by one. Hair in the back one by one. Like, look at that, bro. All those little holes and those little, that's what that looked like. So anyway, I'll try to get the other video to play. It didn't work. But second step is planting part. We're using special pins for the planting part. So they're going to show us what the planting looks like. And it shows us here. All right, so that's what it looks like. They literally put one, they loaded up like a little shotgun. You feel me? Loading up that, boom, they put that one hair strand in one by one. Mind you, they quoted me 5,500 grafts. So that means that 5,500 well, take that back. Because you know, hair follicles, one graft should have at least two hair follicles, right? Um, yeah. So one hair follicle has two grafts. So 5,500 grafts would equate to like 2,700 hair follicles, something like that, right? Either way, they're going to be going inside my head over 3,000 times and getting that one by one, okay? And they're going to plan it one by one. So my hair procedure was estimated to be 12 hours, she said. She said 10 to 12 hours. And I was like, what the 5,500 guys, 10 to 12 hours, bro? You crazy? But yeah. So this is what it looks like as they're inputting it. You see, one by one, they shoot it back into your head. So that's exactly what it looked like. So I say, I remember you now. Hope you're well. And yes, I will send over the new ones as of 3 weeks ago. Okay, cool. What's the price difference and which one do you recommend? I'll send the pics over this afternoon. So she said DHI method is 4,000 US dollars. And then we go back and forth on audio. And this is what we talk about.
Hello, my friend. How are you? I hope you are well. And the DHI method is suitable for the bold or hairy person. And the amount of the grass is not changing, but with the DHI, no open the canal part, it's more safety for the existing hairs, more safety for the skin, no sensitivity with the skin, and not bleeding that much. Healing is faster. Because of this, if you want, you can have with the DHI method. DHI is more comfortable with the healing, with the operation as well. And the price is little different. Why? Because we are using special pens. Pens are costing us a little bit more, and also more person is working on your case. Because of this, DHI method is more expensive method.
All right. So to kind of explain what she said, I don't know if you can understand. Her accent is a little thick, but I was able to understand her. So basically, she was saying the DHI method versus the FUE method. The DHI method is supposed to be less harsh on your skin. It's supposed to be more like because you're catering to each follicle versus ripping a ton of them out at one time with the FUE method. Um, and also, it's supposed to be able to be a cleaner transfer because you're going in one by one. So basically, that's the gist of it. It's supposed to be just more effective overall, better than FUE, which is why she justified raising the price from $3,000 to $4,000 with me doing DHI. This is my response.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning or good afternoon over there. Um, Sounds good. I appreciate you breaking that down for me. Um, I'm looking to get this done within like ideally the next 2 to 3 months. Um, so yeah, ideally before the end of this year or the top of next. Um, and the DHI method is, I'll go with that one. But I'll send you over my updated pictures for my hair. So I'll send that over to you, and I get that sent here shortly. But yeah, the DHI method is the method I want to do. All right.
So as you guys see, I chose DHI, and this is in October. My timeline was at the end of October to the beginning of 2025. And as you guys can see, I have not gotten the procedure done, and we'll talk more about that at the end.
Yes, my friend, this is more comfortable. Yeah, please send me the new pictures. And also, did you ask about the stem cell in Instagram?
Okay, so I went ahead and set the pictures, and you can see what it looks like. So yeah, this is me after letting my hair grow. I say it was probably like a good week and a half. I let my hair grow in. It was a good week and a half, like 10 days. So me after 10 days, and that's what my hair is looking like, right? So again, they said they covered to the back of my head, like right there. Here we go. Yeah, like right here is basically what they said they cover to with the 5,500 hair grafts. And as right there, you guys can see that I'm already thinning right here. So somebody like me, you want to like make sure that you're stopping this thinning if you're looking to get a hair transplant. Otherwise, you're going to be thinning all the way down, but you still, got hair in the front or whatever. So um, it's something to think about as far as getting a hair transplant. It's something that I even consider myself, but we'll talk more about that. So yeah, there is that. And could you text me the last part of the message? I had a hard time understanding. And she said, did you ask me stem cell therapy on Instagram? So she asked if I was doing stem cell therapy. She stuck with the same thing. They said they can make it to that line. We will cover to this line. And the black area will be left. You can have another session after 1 year. So she said they cover to this line. And I can have another session after 1 year to cover the back area, but now we will focus on your front area. So I say, okay, sounds good. And no, I don't message on Instagram, but what is the stem cell therapy? Now she proceeds to explain stem cell therapy along with showing me a bit of it. So yeah, as we can see right now, they're taking out some juice in the back of like the head, like they're literally drilling a hole there. This is stem cell therapy. So like they're taking out some kind of juice there, and they're about to like put that inside of a machine, mixing it with like your blood or some water. As you can see, look, like they're putting it down in there. And now they're going to put that in a machine. It's going to spin it up real quick. Like it spins it, and that turns it into some kind of like fluid. She's about to explain it here soon. But after they take it out, they go and just press that right back in your head. So that juice right there. So remember, they put that right back in there, and now they're going to like inject that inside of your head. It almost looks like a little bit of piss on it. So yeah, they boom. Now they just literally putting that all back in your head. So this is stem cell therapy, and we're not about to go through the whole thing. That's basically what it is. It's supposed to get the blood flowing to those spaces quicker.
So, my friend, there are special cells behind of the ear. These cells are fat skin cartilage and hair cells. These cells are where of your head hair. So we are taking the cells and we are putting inside the machine. Microblaze is turning and then it's becoming liquid. And then we are adding growth factor and your own plasma inside and then putting inside the machine again, turning, and we are reaching very special cells. These cells are affecting like 50 or 100 times PRP treatment. This is like part of the PRP. This is the high generation treatment. We can say like this.
So yeah, she just explained exactly what I said. Basically, they putting some stuff in there and basically taking it out, mixing it with your blood, mixing it up, putting it back in your head to basically make it grow faster. Said it's 200 times more effective than a PRP treatment. I'm not sure if you heard that, but yeah.
It's probably morning over there, huh? Right over here. But okay, yeah, no, that process looked interesting. So, what's the ticket on it? Let me know. How much does it cost extra, in addition to the 4,000?
So the reason why I said what's the ticket on it is because I knew there was a sell behind it, of course, and then also she kind of brought it up. She asked if I asked about it, which I never asked about it, but of course it sells, right? So I did feel like this, you heard the tone of my voice, right? So I think you can kind of read between the lines, and I'll talk about it at the end. All right, so as we can see, it costs $1,300 USD from me, right, my friend? And then I say, awesome, let's do it. So the total cost will be $5,300. Also, can you explain the aftercare process? Like, will you all provide me with everything I need, or will I have to buy certain items? And are there any extra costs associated with the aftercare? So, just to go back there, so yeah, she says 1,300 for me. So I say 5,300. Let's do it. The reason why I said let's do it, just so you guys ain't thinking I'm just saying yes to anything. My whole idea is like, bro, if I'm about to go and travel 2,000 miles, 12 hours on an airplane to get a freaking hair transplant, I want to make sure I do everything in my power to make sure I maximize and get the results that I want. Because once you leave that hair clinic, it's not like you can just go drive down the street or even hop on a national plane. You have to go international to go back to this place. So I'm like, all right, if this is going to give me the chance to get the results that I want, then let's do it. Right. That's how like I'm thinking, like, let's do it. So yeah, that's why I said let's do it. All right. So then this is what she says as far as what you'll need. She said, we'll give you lotion and shampoo for the healing process, but you need to start aftercare products. They're costing around $435 USD. Also, there's ozone therapy for helping blood circulation and healing progress. 2 times ozone therapy costs us $250. And then I didn't answer for a little bit. So she said, hello, my friend. How are you? So I got back to her that following night. And this is what I said.
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you? And okay, for the aftercare, can you tell me like what specific products and also the ozone therapy? I've never heard of that before, but I was looking it up. Can you explain to me a little bit more about the ozone therapy? Also, with everything in total, would you guys offer like a package deal? Because right now, I guess the total is like around 6,000. But would you guys offer some kind of like package deal? You know, if I got everything, um, some kind of like package discount special. But yeah, some more details on that ozone therapy I would like, and also the specific details about the products for the aftercare. You said that they're costing around 435. So like what products? And yeah, let me know if we can do a special or something like that, a little package deal.
A little package deal. You know, your boy trying to get a deal, a little package deal. I'm trying to get a little deal because at this point, it's like, yeah, we can do this. We started at $3,000. We started at 3,000. Now we're at 6,000 from the same amount of grafts. You feel me? So I was like, all right, let's start to add up quick. I'm trying to. She said no. Basically, they can't do. They already gave me a deal, right? Um, I'm thinking like, can we say 5,200 and call it a play? 52. That way, you know, I can use that extra about 700-800, pay for my airfare. I'm all in for under 6,200. So that's how I personally was looking at it. And also when it comes to the ozone therapy, I had never heard of that. And when I looked it up in the USA, the FDA did not approve it, but there ends up discovering more about that later. So you'll hear more about that. But that's where like people be going overseas because they got those experimental surgeries, right? Like stuff that's the US is not approving. Overseas, they might do it, and it's all for cosmetic purposes. Like it's not like it's life or death; it's for cosmetic purposes. But they'll do it overseas, whereas in the US, it's not recommended. Even that amount of hair grafts in the US, right? Which we'll talk about that. So she sent me over a link, but the link did not work. As you can see, the link was not working, and then I couldn't figure out why. But she says yes altogether.
My friend, I cannot change the prices because normally ozone therapy on the one time $200, but we are getting $250 for the hair transplant patients. And the secondly, the product, even if you want, you can order online. But total 5,300 with the stem cell and the hair transplant, and 435 and the $250 with the ozone. And ozone is increasing oxygen inside the blood, increasing blood circulation, oxygen, and increasing to feed in the follicles, and also is helping for swollen, is helping for healing progress.
So that's what she said, right? The ozone helps with the healing process and also increases the blood circulation to specific parts of your head. So that's the idea of it. And she said, yeah, like I said, there's no discounts, but you already got a discount. So she said but she could throw in a hair laser treatment, right? So this is my response.
I'm just getting around to looking into this message. Um, but I just listened to the message. Okay, I understand. Um, I understand what you're saying as far as the price, and I understand what you're saying as far as the ozone treatment. However, I tried to click the link, and it did not like when I opened it up, it said something was wrong with it. So like it didn't. I guess the post is not up anymore, or I don't know. But the ozone treatment is interesting. I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I'm gonna have to look more into it. I see they don't have it like in the U.S. The FDA or whatever. They didn't approve it. So and also the link is broken. But I'll do more research about the ozone treatment. And in general, I have appreciate all the information that you have provided, and also I appreciate you saying that you can give the hair laser treatment to support the hair more. So yes, all of that is appreciated. Um, like I said, the link is not working, but you've given me a ton of information. So at this point, if you could send over the link, that'd be dope. I'd like to see what that was. But at this point, yeah, all I gotta do is just let you guys know when I'm ready. How far out do I have to schedule? Like how far out? How many months do I have to give you notice? Is it like I give you month notice? How does the process work? Do I put a deposit down? I see you say you pay cash. So do I just pay the whole thing in cash, or do I have to put a deposit down before I go? And yeah, also how much time frame, how many months do I have to give you notice for me to go ahead and begin the process and book my flight and all that kind of stuff.
Just covering my T's, dot my I's here, and this is what she says back.
Okay, so my friend, we need 3 days with you. 1 day operation, second day control, and the third day will be washing. So everything can be done in 3 days. Also, stem cell can be done with the operation time, and the control time you can do ozone or something. You can decide it. Yes, in USA, some states are approving, some states doesn't approve this ozone therapy. But we do ozone therapy more than 10 years, so we are seeing really good effective. We didn't see any problem or something. This is happening for the blood circulation, increasing blood circulation, increasing the feeding the follicles. The link is opening with me, but maybe not opening for you, maybe because of location or something, because I'm in Turkey right now, but maybe some posting only in Turkey. I don't know, because this is very old post. I will try to send you video. I'm gonna record the video and I will send you. No problem.
So she said that the link wasn't working, possibly because it was banned from the US, that post. Yeah, so let's listen. Let's keep listening.
Also, for confirm the appointment, we are taking 500 USD deposit and the rest in cash before operation. It is better to bring cash because with the card payment, we are taking extra 10%, and sometimes the cards are not working here. It's giving some issues and the problems. Because of this, it's better to bring the cash. And also, it is better to secure your price, and it's better to secure your appointment. So when do you think to come, my friend?
So for Mirrors, you can see she's starting to close the cell. We've been talking for really since March. Well, we talked from March to April, and then 6 months passed, and then I followed back up in October. So at this point, it's end of October, beginning of November. She's ready to close the cell, but she's been giving me very informative. She's been giving me a lot of information. And then she did kind of gloss over the ozone therapy thing. Like she said, in the States, it may not be legal basically in the States. However, they've done it, so they got experience doing it, and they're comfortable doing it, and they know what it takes to do it, type stuff. So this is what I said back.
Good morning. Appreciate the information. So yeah, I ended up looking into the ozone therapy stuff last night. See that it's approved in some states. So yeah, that's awesome. And regarding my time frame, I would say the next 3 to 5 months. So between February and March of next year. So I will be sure to be in contact with you prior to that time. And if anything comes up before then, I'll be sure to contact you guys if I'm able to, make it happen before then. But how, I think you actually didn't say, but just let me know how long, if you could let me know how long I need to contact you. So, before I make the appointment, how much notice. But other than that, yeah, I got all the information I need. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, my friend. Hope you are well. And we have to confirm your appointment from now. Why we have to confirm? Because our price is changing. So it's better to keep with the same price. And if you can pay the deposit and you can keep the payments same price till end of April. so you can look your price and everything. But now we are accepting. Maybe next month we are not gonna accept the deposit, and we are gonna do with the new packages, new prices.
All right. So when I heard that, I'm in sales. I knew that was instant sales right there, right? Secure your price. So you need to book it now. But as you guys caught it, that in order to book in order to secure your spot at a hair clinic, Asli Tarcan Hair Clinic for a hair transplant, you have to pay $500 deposit, and you will be there for a total of 3 days under their care with that $500 deposit. So you can stay longer, but they need you for at least 3 days, is what they're saying. So yeah, that's the process. And at this point, like I said, she's aiming to close the sale, which I don't blame her. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep going, see how this ends. So she says, "Hello, my friend. How are you? Are you ready to confirm?" That's about a week later. She texts me, and this is I say.
Hey, hope all is well. I got your message. I'm not ready to confirm yet. I don't want to do it, until I for sure know. So I rather not do it. So I for sure know exactly what I'm going to get it done on my behalf. So on my behalf, I'm just not exactly sure when I'll get it done. So I don't want to put a deposit down if I'm not sure exactly when I'll get it done. But I understand as far as the pricing. But now I know, about what the ballpark could be. So I'll check back when the time is right. Um, but like I said, I know what I want as far as everything we discussed. So I'll check back when the time is right, and if everything makes sense at that time, then we'll move forward. But I understand you guys have to do what you got to do, so I don't want to hold you up.
So yeah, my part of saying that part at the end, like, yo, you gotta do what you gotta do. I didn't want her to be like, no, you need to do it now. It's like you gotta raise the price, raise the price. I don't want to. My thing was at that time, this was at the beginning of November. I didn't want to put $500 down on a hair transplant when I didn't know exactly when I was going to be there, right? Like when I didn't know the plane ticket, the time frame, like all of that. I wanted to know exactly when I was going to do it. Now, keep in mind, I was like about to do it, guys. Like I was about to do it. Now, you can read the text. I think you see the text. Things started to change for me a little bit. This is November. In February, earlier this year, I started getting ideas, and I started recognizing certain gaps in this just process. And then also I got really heavy on the amount of grafts, right? Like the amount of grafts that they wanted at one time. It just then started sitting right with me, and I started doing even more deeper research into Asli Tarcan Clinic, hearing other people's stories that aren't so popular, that's not on their Instagram, when they're showing people magic twirl and doing all the voila, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to get more into that at the end. I'll tell you guys my full breakdown, but as you can see, things started to change. Here we are now in February. She says, no problem. Contact me if you need information. I say, will do. She texts in February. She says, hello, how are you, my friend? It has been a long time. I say, it's weird because I was thinking about you yesterday. I'm doing well, my friend. How are you? Yesterday, I got to thinking, would it be possible to split the transplants into two procedures? I've read online that 6K hair grafts can be extensive on the blood vessels at once, and it can have a more natural appearance if done twice. If we are able to split into two procedures, how long should we wait before getting the second one done? And would it still have good results with only getting one procedure done first, like as we are waiting to get the second one done? So these are my thoughts and my concerns. And when it came to the blood vessels, not only as far as you guys are probably familiar with being over harvested. Basically, when too many blood cells have been taken, then it makes it challenging for your for too many grafts been taken at the back of your head, it makes it challenging for them to grow back. So that's how people end up looking like the back of their head looks a little wild. It doesn't look right. So I didn't want that. And then at the same time, if I'm getting 6,000 hair grafts taken away for the first procedure, you guys know that in total, you really only have like 5,000 to 7,000 hair grafts in total to take from the back of your head. Like to the point where if you go over that 5,000 to 7,000, then you become over harvested. It becomes more of a challenge for your hair to grow back, and for it to grow back looking full at the back of your hair, where you're actually your donor area, right? So if I take 6K hair grafts at one time, I'm at risk of depleting my entire donor area for the rest of my life. That's the part that people don't talk about when they're going to these overseas hair clinics, right? Now, does it work? Yeah, we've seen people where they're getting 5,000 hair grafts and it works. Like we've seen that, right? But you also see and hear, I should say, because you don't really see it as much, but you hear people getting 5,000-6,000 hair grafts and they're looking crazy. Like the back of their head look crazy because they got over harvested. Now, what's going to happen when that happens is the clinic is not going to take responsibility of it being over harvested. They're going to tell you that it's your fault. That's literally how this works. Like I've done the research, bro. That's why I'm coming to y'all. This is just the consultation part of the Asli Tarcan process. I'm giving you all the information. Like this is why my sentiment started to change because I started doing even deeper research. Around this time, I could have did it. I had the money on hand to go ahead and go over there and do it. I would have. It was going to. In total, I had budgeted $8,000. So I'm like, all right, with the plane ticket, a couple extra nights in the hotel, I'll be at 8,000. So I had the money on hand. I'm like, yo, should I really do this? But I'm starting thinking, like, should I really do this? Like that 8,000 could be used somewhere else. And I'm trying to close deals here in Florida. Like, just like that's just like the encompassing my whole life with my thought process. I'm like, yo, should I spend this 8,000 on this hair transplant, or should I, invest it back into myself, into my business, basically, right? So at this point getting like I'm nervous because like I'm damn near about to say fuck, like let's go do it. I'm like damn near about to book the ticket, right? There was like a sale going on with the tickets for like the beginning of like at the end of March and like the beginning of April. There was a sale going on for that for the tickets. So it was only like $900 for a round trip, which earlier like around November, December, and January, it was like $1,200 for that same ticket round trip. So I'm like, yo, I can really do this under $8,000. Like I might come home and still have like $800 left out of that 8,000. So that being said, I'm like, should I do this? But again, the hair grafts threw me for a loop. And then also looking online and seeing other people's stories that it didn't work out how they wanted it to, and the clinic literally blamed them. Like no shot to this clinic, whatever. Like if you get your stuff done with them because they have good results. But I've seen and heard other people's stories where the clinic literally told them like, no, it was your problem. Your hair is not taken the right way. Maybe you didn't heal right. Something must have happened with you going back to America. Like, and the thing about it is, guys, people aren't going to come online and just say this stuff out. Like they're not just about to just really think about it. What's the purpose of somebody flying overseas, paying $4,000+ to get a hair transplant, 5,000-6,000 grafts the back of their head for them to come online on the internet, showing their messed up results and telling you a horror story? They have nothing to gain from that, right? So I believe these people when they're telling me this. So that's just why everything changed as far as how I start feeling about things. And I start feeling like there needs to be more transparent in the cosmetic space. And that's where other things were born, as far as other things, which I'm not going to get into. But if you've been watching the channel, you probably got an idea. But me seeing a gap in the market like this made me realize that there's real technology needs to be created for me to really feel comfortable enough to fully go thousands of miles to another country to have a hair transplant where the doctors can, if it doesn't go right, blame it on me. So yeah, things started to switch a little bit, but let's see how she handled it nonetheless. So she said, I am well, thank you. And then she said, it's not giving different results, but we can make it 4,500 grafts at once. So she was willing to lower the graft count. So she said, we'll cover a smaller area and you'll need to wait like 6 months for the second time. So basically we'd go here. So yeah, basically we go here with the hair transplant with the grafts. So cover it's about right there. And then we'll just be leaving that bald, right? Which is crazy a little bit. Not really, because if you watch the Restore Hair Clinic, you saw that theirs was like 2,500 grafts and then 1,500 grafts because they quoted me a total 4,000 grafts, right? So if you guys haven't seen Undercover Patient, the first episode, they covered 4,000 grafts with the Restore Hair Clinic. They said basically they do 2,500 grafts to fill up this part and then another 1,500 kind of fill up that part. So they're telling me 4,500 grafts for here. And that means that it's going to be a lot more denser, right? Like a lot more dense, which is actually good because you want it to be dense. Now, the good thing about me is I have the SMP. So it'll give an illusion of it being more dense, which is good. And you're going to hear more about the illusions here in a second. So basically they were willing to get flexible with me to make me feel more comfortable at 4,500 grafts, right? So then we will cover this area first. If you want less grafts after 6 months, the back area. So basically they said we cover that. And if you want less grafts, boom, after 6 months, we'll do that. And then she said, you can decide how you want when you come here. So I'm not going to hold you up. That added, like, that was actually even more of a bigger red flag for me. This right here, like, it was just even more of a bigger red flag for me because I heard somebody else's story and the guy was like, he basically had a horrible, like, his experience. And it's the same exact clinic, guys. Like, I'm telling you this stuff. Maybe I'll link the other people videos. I probably won't, to be honest with you, just because this is like, if you don't take my word for it, then that's on you. But look, I've watched this other guy video. He told me about him going to the place. Like, he actually went to the hair clinic and he got the transplant there. But his results were not, his results were okay, but his experience is what he did not like. He did not like his experience and he wasn't satisfied fully with his results, but he didn't want to go back to that hair clinic. But anyway, he said the person he was talking to this whole time, they were nowhere to be found. Basically, he showed them the pictures, he showed them exactly what he wanted, exactly how he wanted it, everything that I'm showing you I did right here. And then soon as he got to the clinic, they asked him the exact same question. So what are we doing here? So what are you doing today? So in his head, bro's like, wait, what do you mean? What am I doing here? I just talked to somebody on the phone. I booked the flight. I put cash on me. Like, what do you mean? What am I doing here? So literally the person he talked to on the phone, like this person right here that I'm talking to, like her, they didn't even come in contact with each other. He never saw her again. He had to go through a fresh new consultation as if he never talked to anybody ever the first time, which is going to make you think. It's like, bro, wait a minute. Why am I about to, like, it's to me, nah, I don't like that, right? Like, to me, that was an instant, like, when she said this, it was an instant red flag. It brought me back to there because she's saying you can decide how you want it when you come here. It's like, dude, I'm doing a consultation right now. I want to know how, I want a plan of action before I get there. I don't want to get there and now we trying to figure some stuff out while I'm here. It's like, nah, this is D'Angelo. He's here for this. It should already be in motion. It shouldn't be, let's see, let's figure it out. No, I'm not about to pay $1,000 for an airplane ticket to go and figure some stuff out. I'm just talking about the airplane ticket. I know I'd pay $1,000 just for an airplane ticket to go figure some stuff out. I'd rather figure it out here in the States. If I got to figure it out, like, what's the point of all this if I got to figure it out? So again, this is after I've already started doing a lot of deep research. And then I saw this wording right here. It just triggered, made my hair stand up. I'm like, damn, they're trying to have me in that same scenario. So anyway, she says, so are we arranging your operation? So I just said, love to hear it. Love to hear it. And not at this very moment, but soon, yes. It's my goal to get it done this year. At this time, I still was like, okay, I still might get it done this year, right? I still might. Now, things obviously change, right? But she says, okay, my friend. So from there, she says the 4,500 grafts. So my question was also regarding this point. I brought it up because I've heard about over harvesting risk at 6K grafts at once. What's your thoughts on that? And she says, like 5,000 grafts cannot give over harvesting. So I say, gotcha. So 6K at one time is riskier. She says, not too much. We will take from your back hair and bead and beard hair together. And it's not going to give over harvesting. So keep in mind, initially she told me 5,500 hair grafts. That was my initial quote in the beginning. It was 5,500 hair grafts for $3,000, right? And that was the regular FUE method. DHI went up to 4,000 for 5,500 hair grafts. That she said, like, it's going to be around 5,500 hair grafts. Now she's saying, I say 5,500 because she said, like, it might be a little bit more. She said it might be over 5,500 hair grafts. That's the wording she used, over 5,500 hair grafts. So I say 6th grade. I've heard about over harvesting risk at 6K hair grafts at once. And then she says, like, 5,000 hair grafts cannot give over harvesting. But remember, she said 5,500 hair grafts. So I'm like, what do you mean? So I'm like, 6K one sound riskier. But in my head, I'm like, I remember you saying 55. So what are you, that's damn near, like, we're at 6K hair grafts. What are you talking about? But then she said this, that made me feel a little bit better. Not too much. We will take from your back hair and bead hair together, which I figured said beard. So I say, understood. And you're saying use beard hair, question mark. I didn't know that was a thing. Ha ha ha. It makes sense though, because God was generous in giving my beard hair. Ha ha. Can you use chest hair as well? God was generous with my beard hair, bro. He was really generous here. So I'm like, can you use chest hair as well? Like, let's figure it out, bro. Let's figure it out. Cause that will actually make that right here. I started feeling a lot better. So I'm like, all right, if I can get my chest hair and my beard hair, I could probably get 1,000 grafts from my beard hair and my chest hair. You know, people be going to Turkey to get beard transplants. I'm blessed. God bless me with with beard hair. You feel me? God and lifestyle choices. Nah, but what I'm saying is my beard hair is like it's good. So I'm like, all right, maybe I can get about 1,000 grafts from my beard, which means they're only going to be taking approximately 4 to 4,500 grafts from my actual back of my head. So that made me really feel good. So the chest hair, I'm like, shoot, we're gonna do good through the chest hair. But she said, ha ha ha, nice then. She said chest hair is not working well. So I say bet. So I said bet. And too bad on the chest hair. Laugh out loud. I'll hit you up sooner than later to finalize the details and confirm a date. I was feeling good there, right? So she said for show darker, we can use chest hair. Can you send me a chest photo? Please, my friend. So she asked if I could send a chest photo to show my chest hair. So then I said I can send a pic, but what do you mean by for show darker? So she said it's not growing hair like the head, but it will add more hair. So basically, it's like a SMP. Chest hair, they're gonna scatter it around. It may not grow out like your actual hair, but it'll add that darkness and that to make your hair look more full. You guys be seeing people with hair transplants, like and I'm going to say especially black people, only because I'll be seeing it more so in black people, like because we wear our hair shorter. Like in general, with the black guys get a hair transplant, they're wearing their hair shorter. It's very rare that black guys are getting a hair transplant and their transplanted hair is growing really long. I mainly see that in white guys. But that said, when black guys getting that hair transplant, it be on some Tory Lane. Remember when Tory Lanez had the when he grew out all his hair, but then his hair, the hair that was not hair transplanted, was like out, so it looked a little crazy. So like only this was all in, but then like this was like bald in the middle because that he was still balding. So that being said, to avoid that, it'll just like have something just skirted around there so it looks fuller. But from there, so I say, so what would happen if I cut it? So she said it's not growing like the head. So she said it will still have there, but there's a risk for it not staying lifetime. So if I cut off the chest hair, transplanted hair, it'll be there, but it's a risk for it not staying the entire time. So I sent her a picture of my chest hair, and I was not ready for what she was about to say right here. So I sent her my chest hair. I'm looking sexy, of course. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking big out here, huge, huge. So I say, I'm like, yo, they can put this on my head, right? So then I say, chest hair includes stomach hair too, right? And then this is what she says back. Oh yeah, this is the hair. So you guys can see my fair. You guys can just tell like my beard hair is like full, right? And then my chest hair kind of reminds you like when I do the fade of my beard. So it's like it ain't the thicker part. But then look at all that stomach hair. You see that stomach hair? I'm like, that's a lot of stomach hair. So all that stomach hair, I'm like, yo, what can y'all do with that? Let's make it work, If we can make that work, let's do it. You feel me? So she said, I'm like, does this the chest?
We are taking from the stomach, we are taking from the chest, but your chest hair is not too strong. It is better not to use chest hair right now.
She said, my friend, you ain't got no chest hair. You ain't got no real chest hair. So I've always thought I had a lot of chest hair, but like, I guess she said it's not as strong. I guess some guys got like real thick, like chest hair. Mine's not like that. So, just more, it was more so that I just thought it was a lot because I don't really I don't see nobody else's chest hair. So when I see it on myself, I'm like, yo, this is a lot of hair. Some got like most people I see don't have chest hair. But anyway, I'm like, all right, you can clown me. You know what I'm saying? She laughed. I got weak at her. I'm like, all right, whatever. That's cool. That's cool. So let me show you what I said.
That's funny. That's real funny. Nah, I thought chest hair and stomach hair was the same. All right, I'll give you coming.
So I was laughing for real, but I was like, that's funny. That's real funny. So she said, so we will not use chest hair. And then I say, all good. So how many grafts would you pull from my beard? How many grafts would you pull for the beard? She says around 500 to 1,000 grafts we will extract. Say, gotcha. So let's confirm your appointment. Shout out to her. She's a closer, right? She's trying to close. And then we end up talking 4 days later. So she called me. Then I ended up calling her back. We were on the phone for 12 minutes. And we discussed pretty much everything. She resent everything, right? She kind of just wanted to see how I was feeling about everything, see when I was about to take the date. And I told her we talked about a lot. Can you send over everything in one compact thing? So she says, consultation sessions before and after the operation, hair transplant operation using DHI plus ice grafts, hair washing session next day, medical tools after the operation, shampoo and lotion, transportation. All right. So basically the same thing you guys seen before. And she says the 2-time PRP treatments we would do. So the PRP treatments was included. and then the stem cell was $1,300. So actually, I take that back. There still was about to be $5,800 because the stem cell. So it's still going to be $5,800. And then she sent me over a link for the deposit. So we were at the same price, $5,800. So this is March 5th. March 5th, as you guys can see. So I say, got it. Thanks for all the info. So yeah, we basically said we were going to do everything because I got to the point where I'm like, yo, I don't want to travel there 2 different times. If I'm going to do it, I might as well do it all at one time. And she taught me about the beard and everything. I was like, all right, let's just do it. Let's just say, forget it. Let's do it all at one time, right? So yeah, $5,800 is where we're at. And then she sent me over the link for the deposit. And I say, got it. Thanks for all the info. And then she said, this is the Zelle. All right. So now, boom, that was in March. Here we are a month later in April. She says, hello, my friend. How are you? How is everything? Still, we couldn't book your appointment. All right. So at this time in my life, I discovered like I said, gaps in the system that this, me doing different consultations with the hair procedure stuff has actually prompted something that I found it from a standpoint of an idea, and I'm still in the beginning stages of actually building the technology for it. So I won't get too much into it, but I think you guys, like I said, if you follow the journey, if you follow the channel, then you kind of get an idea on what this tech may encompass and what the purpose of it may be. But I can just tell you the overall purpose of the tech is to improve transparency in the cosmetic space. That's the overall purpose of the technology that I'm building. All right, so here we go. I tell her basically that same exact thing. Hey, I appreciate the follow-up, all your help so far. I've been seriously thinking about the procedure and realized something. So I'm currently building a tech platform designed to improve the client experience after hair transplants. It's focused on aftercare education and staying connected with the clinic post-op. So timing wise, I'm holding off for now because I actually want to experience the process through the lens of this new platform. I'm still early in the build, but open to sharing more if it's something your team will be interested in. Either way, I really appreciate the patience and support. Okay. So from there, that's pretty much it. So she says, thank you, my friend, for videos and everything we can help, of course. So she's kind of thinking I'm talking about like promotional videos, which like when I get there for the hair transplant. And so she just said, so when do you think to come? So I say, thank you. I appreciate that. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure when I'll come yet. The platform I'm working on is meant to support clinics and clients after the procedure, like helping people stay on track with aftercare, providing updates, and making it easier to communicate post-surgery. Since I want to go through that process myself and capture it through this lens, I'm just waiting until the timing makes sense. I'll definitely keep you updated as things move forward. And she said, okay, my friend, no problem. We are waiting to hear from you. And then she sent me over a thing in May that just basically said, let's see.
Hello, my friend. How are you? I hope you are well. I hope you have the free time now and you would come for the operation or something. Could you arrange your things?
She like, bro, do something. You have to put all this time in with you. Like, you about to do something. So, but shout out to her, bro. So she's anyway. I said hello. I'm doing well. Not ready for the procedure. Hope all is well with you too. Stay blessed. And then she.
Thank you so much, my friend. I am well. Thank you. Hopefully, we are going to see you soon. If you need any information, if you need anything, please contact me.
Boom. And that's it, guys. That's it. And yeah, I already knew this was gonna be a long video. All right. And that's it, guys. That is the whole thing. So, what do I take away from this? All right. So, to answer those questions in the beginning, one, do I think she was really salesy throughout this process? No. And this is a Dubai hair clinic. No, I actually think the Restore Hair Clinic was way more salesy, bro. Like the Restore Hair Clinic, they were borderline annoying. Just with their sales funnel and their process was annoying. I feel like I was being harassed to get a hair transplant. Like, bro, I'm about to come out of pocket $20,000, and you calling me 4 times a week, sometimes 2 times a day. Like, bro, they were out of hand. Honestly, they were way more salesy in the Restore process through this process. The lady I spoke with was very informative. She made me feel comfortable to talk to her. She was great, like all the way around, bro. Hands down, she was great. The customer experience with Asli Tarcan Hair Clinic is great. Like all that was dope, bro. I really have nothing to say from the standpoint of I didn't feel pressured, none of that. The biggest thing that came from my hangups with moving through with Asli Tarcan Clinic is biggest thing is the distance, right? Like the platform that I am creating has to do with gaps in the aftercare process, but it's gaps in the global aftercare process because of people like myself. The idea of us going overseas and getting a hair transplant or getting any kind of cosmetic surgery done, there's lack of accountability for these clinics, and there's not a big transparency sector because um unlike the US where Restore Hair Clinic sent me over a contract and I read the fine print and I seen the whole thing. Asli Tarcan was not about to send me no contracts or nothing. They in a whole different country, a whole different jurisdiction, right? Whole different laws, whole different customs, ethics. So everything was just different from that perspective, bro. And like I said, I've literally saw people that got it done, didn't come out to their desired result, and Asli Tarcan had their videos removed, cited harassment on their videos. That's how they were getting people videos removed. They were citing harassment, bro. Like basically saying that these people are lying and they're trying to tarnish their name. YouTube, you know how YouTube is, right? If you're not a creator that's willing to go through a dispute with YouTube, then you can't be talking stuff about people on YouTube, right? So anyway, that guy did not want to go through a dispute with YouTube, and it never got back reposted. But he said he talked about it and he put it on TikTok. He said it was on his TikTok longer, but then a couple months later, it got removed out of his TikTok. So Asli Tarcan clearly has some power. They have a lot of influence in this hair transplant space. However, it depends on what your goals and what your ultimate, like, don't think short term when it comes to this stuff, guys. Like, that's what me, when it comes to doing anything to my body, I do not think short term. Like, I'm not a short term person, but like in all areas, when it comes to my body, bro, like from sex to my hair, like I'm not a short term person, bro. I like to think the stuff all the way through, just from the standpoint, like you can't let one moment dictate the rest of your life. That's why, like, when it comes to certain things, you can't be short term. Something like this, yeah, it's cool. The idea of everything going right, me hopping on an airplane, getting the transplant, my hair growing in fully, that sounds beautiful. And I love the idea of it. But when I think about me being a natural strategist, like you want to have a game plan when you're going under the knife or when you're going in surgery for whatever reason, you and your doctor should be on the same page. Fact of the matter is, guys, when you're going over from the United States to the Asli Tarcan Clinic, bro, I've seen enough people to know that this part is true. The person you're talking to right here, that's not going to be the person that's going to greet you and that you're going to sit down with and continue your in-person consultation with. It's almost going to be like a restart. Like you're literally going to be restarting the whole consultation. So that right there lets me know that we're already not aligned. And if I'm going to travel 1,000 miles, we need to be aligned off top. Like there should be no, we figure it out when you get here. No, I need to know exactly what I'm doing when I get there, and you need to know what you're doing when I get there, right? So that's the number one thing. Number two, when it comes to the amount of hair grafts at one time, a lot of guys like the idea of it. I don't know if you saw Akon. And to be honest with you, we'll maybe do a review on that. But to me, Akon hair transplant didn't come out right. Like his hairline was like, it didn't look right. I don't know. It didn't look right to me. But he said his was done by the actual doctor himself and not the nurses. Keep in mind, when you're going to these overseas clinics, the doctors are not the ones doing your hair transplant. It's oftentimes the nurses, especially when you get in DHI methods, right? That's literally one by one, you're putting this stuff in, and so that's like 4 or 5 people in your head at one time, and everybody in that thing, you know what I'm saying? Sticking your head, you stay there for 12 hours just sitting back, right? So, and keep in mind, they're doing many of these procedures per day, many procedures per day. Fatigue, I'm not going to say that it's prevalent because obviously they're in business and obviously they're got a good enough reputation for people like myself to even consider getting it done. So I'm not going to say it's prevalent as far as doctor fatigue, but I mean, it's a possibility. Somebody's on your head for 12 hours and maybe they got to switch people through the middle of the procedure. I don't know. But compare that to somewhere like in the United States with Restore Hair Clinic. They said the procedure would be at most 6 to 8 hours long, but there were going to be 2 different procedures, right? So there were going to be one procedure getting 2,500 hair grafts, and then there's another procedure getting 1,500 hair grafts like 6 months later. So that is a major difference because the same doctor is doing your procedure with the Restore Hair Clinic and most clinics in the United States, whereas overseas, again, they're trying to get you the best price. Part of that best price is that you may not have the best hands on the job. I want the best hands on the job. This is a delicate, you know what I'm saying? This is godly right here, you know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that everything is on all hands on deck, the right hands on deck. So peace of mind is priceless. If you don't take nothing away from this, man, peace of mind is priceless, bro. Peace of mind is priceless. Peace of mind is priceless. Nothing else for me to say, bro. Peace of mind is priceless. That's ultimately what I'll be paying for if and when I decide to get a hair transplant here in the United States of America. I'm paying for peace of mind. That's it. Because overseas, they may have some different kind of practices, but the ozone therapy sounded cool. The PRP sounded cool. PRP and ozone therapy wasn't even offered as a add-on with Restore Hair Clinic. Like there was no add-ons to get PRP or Restore Hair Clinic. That's a whole different procedure if you want to go get that done in the United States. So I thought that was cool that that all could be included inside of the same thing. So there's a lot of things to take into account as far as the maybe you're getting a good bang for your buck going to Turkey, but remember, like this is more than money. Like this is more than money, bro. For one, it's peace of mind. For two, you're not going to be 25, 30, 35, 40, however old you are, you're not going to be that age forever. So you really want to be cautious because your hair loss can progress. Another thing that you want to make sure you stabilize your hair loss. As you guys saw the back of my head, like my hair loss is still it's getting slower now, thankfully. But at the time of that, you guys could tell that there's still there was still some areas that were thinning at the back of my head along like with the top. So if I'm about to get all this replaced, the last thing that I need just for my own mental like state of mind, bro, to be honest with you, the last thing that I need is to be like thinking about the back of my head. But I don't need that in my life right now, right? I got more things on my plate. I don't need to spend $8,000 on a hair transplant and then be thinking about the back of my head, bro. I just don't need that in my life right now, right? So I was thinking about that too. Like, damn, I really need to stabilize his hair loss and make sure that it's, slowed down completely. So yeah, that's something that you really want to take into account as well, just on your own personal journey as far as where you're at in the hair loss and, how stable are you so that your hair transplant can take how it's supposed to take. But overall, like what I recommend somebody getting a hair transplant at Asli Tarcan Clinic. I'm gonna be all the way real with you guys, bro. If you're coming from the United States, it depends on what your priorities are. If your priorities are getting the best results, like ensuring you have the best results, I think that you could get it there if you could get it there, but I would really recommend you getting 2 procedures done. Like I would recommend you doing it one procedure and then one procedure. I wouldn't recommend you if you're in a scenario like me. I don't recommend you getting 5,000 hair grafts taken out at one time, bro. Like I just don't recommend it. I don't think it makes sense to get 5,000 taken out at one time. The most that I'm really comfortable getting taken out at one time is 3. I'll be comfortable getting 3 taken out at one time, but 5,000 at one time when so many variables, you don't know how it's going to take, and you risk not being able to come back and get another one. If at least you get 2,500 hair grafts, you see how that one goes. Then you come back, you let your hair thicken up back there. You go back, you get another one, and then you get another 1,000. Then boom, you can come back, you get another one. So you can build it to now you're actually building it's like a sculpture. It's like a work of art. It's like a piece of art. You're like building your hair. So I actually like the idea that more. Yeah, it does cost more money, but I mean, for me, it's not about the money. It's like if I'm gonna do it, then I should do it right. And thankfully, I got a great SMP. But even with my SMP, I made sure I did it right. For context, I paid $3,000 for my SMP. There's this hair transplant. The first one quote she gave me was $3,000, and that was 5,500 grafts for $3,000. So my SMP cost $3,000. Asli Tarcan Hair Clinic SMP was done. My SMP cost $3,000. That was done in Miami, whereas Asli Tarcan Hair Clinic in Turkey quoted me $3,000 for 5,500 hair grafts, bro, for a FUE method. So it's like quality. I mean, look, granted, I understand the power of the US dollar. I understand that, the dollar weighs more in Turkey, and they really have some great clinics out there in Turkey and just a great reputation for doing good work. However, man, you're paying in other ways, if you ask me, bro. The peace of mind that you can't go in and see that surgeon again. Like you got to get on a plane if you want to go see that surgeon again. If something ain't going right, you got to go and hope they answer the phone. You got to hope they answer the phone and hope they keep it 100 with you. Like you really got to hope they keep it 100 with you, but you're in it's a whole different world out there. So there ain't no malpractice. Nah, it's like, no, you are a foreigner. You came here to get a hair transplant and something happened when you went back home. We've been off your hair for 2 weeks. Now you telling us something? No. We do good work. We do good work here. Something happened with you. I'm telling you guys, I've heard that story more than once with Asli Tarcan Hair Clinic. That's the story. Is something doesn't go right. The person comes here, they either try to post something online and they're calling them out directly, but that gets taken down, or they try to talk to them directly first. They're not answering, they're not communicative. It's hard to get in touch with them and make that same kind of connection that you had, where it's like, if you're trying to get some business, get the hair transplant done, it's like, come over, that's good. When you booking, But when you're trying to be like, hey, what's going on with my hair? It's like crickets. I've heard it from multiple people. It's like crickets. It ain't the same enthusiasm of customer service as when you're trying to get their service. When you're trying to get their service, they on top of you, as you saw in the text message. What I don't want to be doing is making a video talking about how horrible their service is because I'm pissed off that my results ain't where they're supposed to be at. That's part of the price that's a trade-off. If you think that the peace of mind ain't worth it, then that's on you, bro. For me, I'd rather pay 15, 20,000 and get it done in the US. I'm not gonna hold you up, bro. That's who I am. But I'm also the same person that paid $3,000 to get S&P. I've seen people charge $800 for the same S&P. And sometimes, yeah, it looks really good. I'm like, damn, $800 ain't bad. Look good. But I ain't gonna hold you up. I've seen some people that they stuff look wild. It looked like somebody drew it on with some magic marker, just said, and then they just happy about it. So it's all about what you're doing, man. For me, I think you pay by buying somebody's, not only their work, but you're buying their reputation. That means a lot when you're buying somebody's reputation. What Asli Tarcan does a great job at, and I'm gonna leave it here, as I don't have no beef with the clinic, so it really ain't no need for me to go in on them. Ain't no need for me to go in on them because I have no beef with the clinic. So me not having no beef with them, I'm not about to flame them up. But check this out. Let's keep it a buck. Asli Tarcan does great at marketing. Their marketing is great from the standpoint of getting you all pumped up and excited while you're there. I seen guys taking their shirts off. They over here flexing their beards. You know what I'm saying? They got their hair, first results. They super excited about. Very rare with Asli Tarcan do you see. I'm saying very rare because it does happen. I've seen it on their Instagram. But very rare, these guys are doing thousands of hair transplants, bro. Like I say per month, they're doing probably at least 400 hair transplants per month. So a year, they're doing thousands of them. But it's not so often that you're seeing their results 6 months, 9 months, 18 months. You're not seeing many people results. Now that's twofold, right? Some people don't want their business on the internet. So like, bro, get me out of here. But some people are not getting the results that they wanted. And Asli Tarcan is getting people at the most emotional point of the transaction, right? And I say transaction because you're paying for the hair transplant, right? So the most emotional point of the transaction is going to be right after. When you, as a bald man, you know what I'm saying, you've been bald all this time. Now you see glimmers of hope. You see a frame to your face. If you didn't have an S&P, you see at least a frame to your face. You see a hairline. You see something that you haven't seen in years, and they're catching that first result. So they're getting the enthusiasm of these people when they're first out, but we're not capturing the how is it happening? How are they looking 6 months from now, 9 months from now? Did they get the results that you guys said they would type stuff? You feel me? So all of that matters, bro. Like that really matters. And it matters because I'm not going to take shots at them and call their marketing practice deceptive. I won't call it deceptive, right? Because I think that's a little strong because people are genuinely excited. But what I'll compare it to this, I don't know if you guys saw my S&P video, but once I got the S&P video, I get up out the chair, bro's like, look, like he's like, you know, showing me my results. I'm like super excited, like, bro, thank you. Like I'm super excited. And granted, everything turned out good with my S&P. But what I want you guys to keep in mind is like 6 months. Just imagine if 6 months from now, something didn't go right. It didn't go exactly how I thought it was going to go. And now I'm trying to hit these people up and ask them like, hey, this isn't happening right, But I've already given them the stamp of approval for my 18-month hair transplant. Like a hair transplant isn't just one session. It's 18 months. You got to make sure the full results come all the way in within 12 to 18 months. So you're stamping them of like, you guys did great. You stamping it right there in the middle of it, but you're not stamping it at 6 to 9 to 12 to 18 months. So they already got everything they need from you. They got your money, they got your business, they got your credibility, your, you know, referral, basically your sign of approval. They got all of that from you. All of that from you within the first session. It ain't even over yet. You can you can never visit them again. It's not like you can just pull up on them like, bro, son ain't looking right. Can you take a look at this? It ain't like that. They getting your whole stamp of approval right away, bro. And that's what, like, some of you guys need to really, like, I was watching one of the guys, I mean, depending on who watched this, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like, one of the guys even showed, like, he was really excited about it. He's basically explained what I just explained to you. He did the whole pre-thing. He was really excited. He showed his video. He was like, you know, I'm here, Asli Tarcan Hair Clinic. I'm getting this. And they was doing all the little fancy drawing and all that kind of stuff just for him to be making the video talking about how he's not satisfied with his results. So it's like, bro, they don't care no more now. Like, they already got everything they need from you. So, like I said, man, that's the only thing when it comes to Asli Tarcan that, like, you know, it's too many variables for me to be comfortable. I'd be more comfortable doing a heavy promo for a clinic here in the States versus me doing a heavy promo for a clinic overseas, because overseas you're catching my first reaction, which I can't pull up on you again. You can just literally, you can write me off. I got this reaction, I'm good. I can't pull up on you and be like, something ain't right. And you can just not take me serious. Versus if I'm able to pull up on you and I'm like, yo, nah, I just gave you $8,000. Something ain't right. We about to figure it out. Versus it just being like, you're overseas and something may have happened when you were on the airplane and they just stop answering my calls, stop answering my texts. And it's like I never existed them anymore. The mere fact that that's a possibility is why, being honest, that I will not be getting a hair transplant done in Turkey without my technology being involved in that process. That's the only way I'll do it. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. It's been a real one. This again, we tapping in more to, you know, the detailed side of things. These things are, again, like, the mission here is to improve transparency throughout the cosmetic industry, through all forms of cosmetic industry. And that is something that we will continue to do. And just by liking and subscribing and tuning in to this video, man, you're going to be a part of that journey. And more details on that come soon, as, you know, I keep building in the background. I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. And as always, you know what to do. Get to stepping, get to stepping, get to stepping. Hey, let me know in the comments, would you get a hair transplant done in Turkey? At Asli Tarcan Clinic? Would you get a hair transplant done at Asli Tarcan Hair Clinic? And if you already had one done, let me know your experience. Until next time, I'm done. Deuces.
Like YOLO wanted to tell you, accept yourself. You don't have to prove shit to no one, accept yourself. And if you